journey. Yeah, we are going live. Live. Day one journey. Episode 741. Live every single day. Recently, I'm doing it here live on YouTube. No, live on Facebook. Either way, I want to share with you this, this, this. This is the decade. This is the decade. Well, this is something that I'm saying that to you right now, but I try to remind myself this and use these words with my self-positive talk almost every single day. This is the decade. Well, I guess it's easy to get caught up now, 2020, with all the coronavirus and things going on and the uncertainty, and we can sort of say it's a wasted year and we don't know what to do. And I'm not saying I have all the answers. I'm not saying I can actually help other people. I have no idea. People struggle with different things. But within the conversation that I have with myself, this is something that I want to remind myself every single day. This is the decade. Decade, not a year, a decade. And so two things here. One, why decade? Why not a year? Well, I'm not sure where I heard this quote, but I really like it. I think that it goes something like this. We underestimate what we can do in a year. We overestimate what we can do in a year, but we underestimate what we can do in a decade. So when I look at the last 10 years, last decade, and I'm thinking where I was back then, where I am right now, wow. Last decade, 2010, it's the year I did the first performance abroad in salsa. I was still in the university learning computer engineering. In the last decade, I acquired so many skills. Things have changed, my ideas for what I want to do in my life. I opened 3 YouTube channels. I wrote 16 children's books. I quit my job 2013. There's so many things happened in the last decade, and more than that, I developed skills. And for me right now, I'm saying this is the decade because right now I know what I want to do. I have more clarity than ever before. And not only that, I have the skills. I have everything that I need to push myself to the next level. And yes, right now, and still I see that as a decade. I'm not saying this is the year. I'm saying this is the decade. There's still, I approach this with a lot of patience. Now I have the skills, most of the skills, but still I want to execute. I need to execute to get what I want. So when I said the word decade, I know that sometimes it can have the opposite effect of like, whoa, a decade, so long, like, demotivating. Well, when I get to this point, when it's demotivating me, like, I just remind myself that the time will pass anyway. Like, whatever we're going to do, whether to sit down, being couch potatoes, not doing anything, just watching, the news, movies, whatever, or we can work on ourselves, work on our skills, create the new projects that we want, that we are excited about, taste new things. Whatever we do in the next decade will pass. Whatever we will do, it will pass, and then we will find ourselves a decade from now. I think there was another quote. It went something like this: I really like it. Time will pass anyway. Don't give up on your dreams, on your goals, on your ambitions, just because of the time it will take to accomplish them. The time will pass anyway. So this is why when I say decade, I'm not getting demotivated. Like, no, a decade. A decade. And then I just think about all the things that I can actually accomplish in a decade. So many things. And now I'm saying this is my decade because I have the skills. I have what I need. I have the tools. I know how to video edit. I know how to shoot my videos. I'm a better dancer than I was ever before. I'm a better teacher. I'm better in communicating. I'm better in speaking English. And this is my decade. Yes, and so when I speak about the decade, I think about this year, 2020. So I want to set the pace for the decade. This is what I want. I want to set the pace for the decade. And here's still a big chunk of time. I want to utilize it. So I want to use it as a jumping, whatever you call that. I want to use this year as for me. This year is the first year of the decade. I want to set the pace. I want to get the momentum. I want to create the momentum. And then I want to keep the momentum. Maybe tomorrow I'll share with you some of my thoughts about momentum, how crucial it is and helpful it can be, at least in my opinion. And on the other hand, it can be dangerous. But that's for, maybe for tomorrow. But this is what I want to share with you today. This is the decade, at least as I see it, at least in my life, and this is the year. This is the year that will set the pace. And I don't think it matters, Corona, Shmorona, I don't think it matters. Like, we can sit down, we can open our phone. I think everybody's watching this video has a phone with internet. You can open YouTube and you can learn anything. You can open Google and you can learn anything that you want. Whatever you want to do, there's a skill that you can master and you can get better at it, and you can do it now from your home with social distancing, with everything. You can do it. Nobody's stopping you. You can use this year to set your pace, to do whatever you want. Set the pace. Continue the year 2020. Use everything you have. This is what I'm trying to do with myself. This is how I speak to myself. And this is what I want to share with you today. Until tomorrow, have an amazing, amazing day. I usually call that day one. See you tomorrow.